Come on, get in, get in. We ready? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let me get my. I gotta get my settings right. 1 second. All right, all right, all right, all right. Getting it all set up. We gonna have a good one. Everybody come on and get in here. Get in there. Yeah, yeah. Yup, yup, yeah. Just tap in, tap in. I'm gonna play a little something to show how what I be talking about, how you only can get caught up by your own people. Watch. I'm gonna play a little snippet to show you when I be talking about these brothers that you be walking across, these sovereign citizens, criminals. Most of them be government informants and COINTELPROs, and nothing's new under the sun. Nothing's new under the sun, y'all. That's what I always talk about. I always talk about that. That's why I say we are worst enemies. Yeah, we are worst enemies. Point blank. Point blank. So give me 1 second. We're gonna get started. And like I said, ask any questions, man. When you in school, you're supposed to ask questions. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. That's all it takes to get in trouble is 1 second. That's all it takes to get in trouble is 1 second. Yeah, peace, peace, peace. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Hold on. Let's see something. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I got you, bro. I got you. We about to start. 1 second. Let me just send this real fast to my guy. Uh-oh. Yep. I'm just getting this set up, bro. So you got time. You got time. Yeah. What's good? What's good, my brothers and sisters? What's popping? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? I had an amazing day today. I don't know about you. Dad, that's the door? Yeah, but I'm gonna play. I wanna play something. I think I got company, but I'm gonna play something for y'all real fast. Hold on. I'm gonna let it play. About this COINTELPRO, how brothers will set you up. I'm gonna let it play for a minute while my company here. See. In the summer of 1978, I interviewed a man who worked as an informer for the FBI during the 1960s. His name is Darthard Perry, also known as Ed Briggs, also known as Bill Perry, also known as Othello. How were you paid?
The pay was always in cash. Cash, and he would sign a card. It would go like this. A rendezvous or a drop-off point would be picked out either by yourself or the agent. You would meet the agent there, and usually it would be in a vehicle. You get in the vehicle, he would hand you the money. He would tell you first to count the money. He would tell you the amount while you counted it. If the amount was there, he would then bring out a card. On that card would be for the week of such and such. In other words, the week was dated. So-and-so has been paid the amount of. Then you would sign the card, and then the agent would sign the card. The reason for this is that if all of a sudden the IRS became very interested about where you were getting all this extra money from, you could always tell them to go back to the Bureau, and the Bureau would have your cards on file.
I see. Were there such things as bonuses?
Oh, yes.
What were they paid for?
Bonuses were paid for, suppose while you were meeting with, or you were at a meeting with Bobby Seals, Chulai of the Red Army happened to come to the meeting too, which is something which would be a new development. That's bonus time.
In other words, a hot piece of information.
Hot piece, very hot piece.
Did you ever suffer pangs of conscience?
Quite a few times. Quite a few times. I still suffer pains of conscience. I suffer from the fact that a lot of people trusted me, and I misused that trust. I suffer from the fact that a lot of information that I gave out was the undoing of certain groups or certain people. I suffer from the fact that I'm on the run constantly. I have no real life to speak of.
You have no family life, really? You have a wife?
No, I don't have a wife. I do have a child. I can't see her that often. I have to stay away from them because once I come around, the Bureau shows up and harassment starts. I have very few close personal friends, no one to really confide in. It's like being outside of a glass jar and everything is happening inside the jar, but you're on the outside. You can see it happening, but you can't participate.
Why have you decided to talk to me?
For the simple reason, I think this information should be getting out, should be put out to the public. I think not only black people, but everyone should become aware of what your so-called law enforcement agencies do to so-called enforce the law. Because between you, myself, and the audience, I've seen more felons in law enforcement than I have in prison.
Many would say, well, look, you yourself just got through saying that the BLA was involved in criminal activity. What's wrong with wanting to put them in prison? How would you answer them?
I would answer them this way. First off, we have to understand why they did what they did. But I'm not even gonna go off into that psychological hoo-ha. What I'm gonna say is, when you become just as bad as the people that you go after, then there's nothing gained and a whole lot lost.
You also were active in the infiltration of many cultural groups. Before we go into that step by step, how much research and study did the FBI engage in of black culture in the late 60s?
A great amount.
Give me an idea.
From the thing is, I can, they have a file on every type of magazine that blacks read. They have a file on the music, dance, theater, actors, comedians, you name it, man.
And they would actually study these
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
What would they do with music?
To understand the people, you have to understand the culture. To infiltrate, you have to understand. You had a lot of so-called white liberals that were infiltrating the so-called black groups using the information that they had gathered from the studies of blacks.
You mean just to understand the behavior pattern of our people?
Oh yeah, I can, Will Heaton could name out some jams of Miles Davis that I hadn't even heard of. He could name off some books that I hadn't even read pertaining to black culture.
Did you ever see agents actually studying
Oh,
the
yes.
music of
Yes. Yes, I've seen them going over even video portion of cultural events. The understanding, like you have an organization like Leroy Jones Black House. You remember that? Okay, Leroy Jones's place, which was done on the thing of tribalism. That's where I first heard the word Kintu, Mantu, Huntu, Hintu. These words of the African continuum. I learned that from an agent. He ran it down to me. They make in-depth studies of the personalities of the people they're dealing with too. Culturally, it always helps when it's the thing of you can take their culture and use it against them.
How large would you say an extensive collection on our culture would you say the FBI has? Would you rate it as large as a particular library, like the Schomburg Library in Harlem?
I would rate it better. And the fact is that they go into details that we probably would overlook. Will Heaton used to meet me in different places, Will Heaton, that was one of my supervising agents. There is a certain bar in the Los Angeles area where people into black cultural things met, and Will Heaton used to meet me there. And he would go into very long and tiring conversations with some very articulate brothers about culture, African culture, and Afro-American culture.
about some of the cultural organizations that you infiltrated and what you did.
PASLA, Mafunde, Watts Writers Workshop, which they had.
The Watts Writers Workshop.
Yes. Watts Writers Workshop, which was one of the oldest established black writers workshop.
That place was burned down.
Yeah. The Bureau had it burned down.
How do you know that?
I know because I participated. I did the arson.
You burned down the Watts Writers.
Yes.
Why did they want it to go?
At the time, funding had been cut to the workshop, had been cut out, but it looked like there was a possibility of a grant being given back to the workshop. And if there was no theater, there would be no grant.
How did you do it?
2 cans of kerosene, a Purex bottle, gasoline, and a flare, highway flare.
Why didn't you use more sophisticated stuff?
Oh no. You're never overly sophisticated. It's too obvious. This way you make it look like, maybe somebody in the neighborhood that got kicked out of the theater at one time got mad and came and burned the damn theater up, that kind of thing.
But you were involved in this theater? I mean, didn't it get to you at all what you were...
Hey man, that got to me a great deal. I love the theater. I built the stage.
You built the stage?
Oh yeah. When I got to the workshop, the stage that had been, the original stage that had been built needed an extension on it. The original part of the stage was in terrible condition. They had no lighting system. I put the lighting system in myself. I put the stage in myself. And that was a stage, man. And that was a theater. It's a nice theater.
Who was the director of that workshop?
Harry Dolan.
Harry Dolan. Some very, very well-known artists supported that workshop, gave money to it.
Some very well-known artists came out of the Watts Writers Workshop. Glenn Tubman, Yaphet Kotto. Sidney Poitier used to come down there and give a class. Sammy Davis Jr. used to come down there all the time. Quincy Jones used to come there and give music classes. We had our own 8-track studio setup for sound. We had our own sound room there.
Was part of your other activities and responsibilities to study the profiles of celebrities who were supportive of organizations?
Definitely, and especially, like I said, psychological backgrounds, weaknesses and strengths. Did he have a weakness for blondes? Did he have a weakness for money? Did he snort cocaine? Did he smoke marijuana? They even get into, and that's one thing the Bureau loves is their sexual background. They have files and files on different blacks, not only celebrities, but a lot of others, sexual activity.
What would they do with this information?
Oh, that's used as a weakness.
So they would feed to these weaknesses.
Yes.
Did you see that happen?
Oh, yes. Doc Holliday, who is one of the leaders of the BGF, Black Gorilla Family, which is a prison gang in the California state prison system. Upon his release from prison, a certain sister made herself known to him at a nightclub, whereupon he moved in with her, and she picked up names, telephone numbers, information, that kind of thing. That lasted for a good 3.5 months.
Was this an unusual thing, or did this happen often?
No, that happens all the time.
Did you yourself get involved in doing that?
Yes.
Give me an example.
There was a gentleman that was on trial in Los Angeles that belonged to the BLA that had been busted in a southern state for a bank robbery, but was brought with 2 other people people to Los Angeles to stand trial for the machine gunning of a police officer in Los Angeles. I was supposed to worm my way into the affections of his sister and whatever it took to get the information that I needed as far as what kind of defense they planned to use as to turn this information over to the federal prosecution.
Did you do it?
I got the information, and thank God I didn't have to go through with the actual thing of sexual activity.
What do you mean, thank God?
The sister was rather unappealing.
How did you justify to the organizations in which you had infiltrated yourself that you were living on an $800 a week stipend or on an $800 a week standard of living when most of them were living hand to mouth?
Well, hey, brother, I'm hustling, I mean, hey, man, sell a little this on the side, a little of that on the side, I get over, that kind of thing. In other words, ain't nobody's business but mine where I get the money. So, everybody took it for granted that I was possibly doing a little dealing on the side. That kind of thing. Then also, everybody liked me for the simple reason that I would do things that I didn't have to do. I would go out of my way. Like Mafunde would have a pageant and they needed someone to do the sound setup for him. And I'd say, of course, I'll do it for you. That kind of thing. I was very well liked at one time in the community.
Would you say to American citizens that this situation of surveillance and infiltration continues to this day?
Oh, yes.
On the dimension that you experienced?
Probably much larger by now.
Larger?
Oh, yeah. Let me put it to you like this. Each year, everything gradually escalated up more and more. So I figured when I left, it didn't stop escalating. As they say, one monkey does not stop anybody's show.
You mentioned Sammy Davis Jr., who at one time, it was reported, gave money to the Black Panther Party, I believe. Were you ever assigned to look into?
Yes, I was told to try to get as close to Mr. Davis or to anyone in his office as I could. I used to go up and have real chit-chat, chummy conversations with his personal secretary, Ann, at the 9000 building on Sunset. And I used to bring a portable video camera, and I used to go around and I would videotape the whole office.
You mean celebrities would be coming into his office and you'd film them freely?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they question that?
I'm from the Ross Writers Workshop. Yeah, right on, brother. That kind of thing. No questions asked. Same thing with the NAACP Image Awards. They were very interested in people like Sammy Davis Jr. There was another black in Los Angeles that they were very interested in because, not Los Angeles, but in Sacramento, Nathaniel Colley, who's attorney for the NAACP. And I know Nat. And they wanted information on him. Just for the simple reason that he's an attorney for the NAACP. Which makes no sense to me, but must make a lot of sense to them because they use the information.
You've been called upon to testify in Washington. Before who?
Before the Senate committee. I was called first to testify before the church committee. And I did go to Washington, D.C. I did testify to those people. And I want to say right now that the committee was full of smack. They got loads and loads of information. Didn't even use it. Didn't release it. I had tapes that I offered to them in evidence against the Federal Bureau of Investigation with conversations of me and my supervising officer where he's telling me to obtain certain articles for him by stealing. Don't get fingerprints on it. We can really use that. Did you take the weapons over to such and such? The church's committee told me that they couldn't use the tapes because the tapes were gotten by illegal means.
you say about the composition of the committee panel that questioned you?
I can say that's for the birds too, because the same people that I was talking about were the same people on the panel with the church's committee.
What do you mean?
When I came in the room to be interviewed by the so-called people from the church's committee, the representatives from the Federal Bureau of Investigations were also in the room.
FBI agents were a member of the church committee panel.
They were there with the investigators for the church's committee asking questions just like the church's committee. And see, this is another thing that I find fault with, and this is another reason why I am not going to Washington, D.C., is that, again, I have been asked to come again for the second time. I'm not going again. For the simple reason that when I went up there with the idea that there were agencies investigating the Federal Bureau of Investigation, not the Federal Bureau of Investigation investigating itself.
You're on the lam, almost. Do you have a sense that you're going to be arrested and go to prison?
Oh yeah, eventually. Eventually, when things come to a head, it has to. It has to be that way. No other way around it.
What would you say to citizens who sit and listen to what you've said and have a sense of frustration and helplessness?
There are some agents, the old line agents, that disagree with the tactics that were used during the so-called COINTEL period. But one thing I don't want us to jump off of is that people always they're talking about COINTEL now so heavily. I'm not talking about COINTEL. I'm talking about a thing called BD, which was better known as Black Desk. The Black Desk was set up for a simple thing of infiltrating black organizations and black groups, whatever.
Where was this black desk, or were there a number of them?
There were a number of black desks, but the head black desk was in Washington, D.C., controlled by Sullivan. And
Was he black?
No.
Mm-hmm. And what was the function of the black desks all over the country? I guess there were dozens.
The function of the black desk was to monitor activity, social unrest, revolutionary groups, cultural groups, and such in the black community.
And feed it into this central desk. And it still exists?
As far as I know, yes.
We've seen a number of investigations into the assassination of Martin Luther King. We've seen an extended police trial of the assassination of Malcolm X. What you seem to say substantiates what many black people say out on the street, that government agents or agencies knew that these assassinations were brewing and either participated in them or allowed them to take place.
It would behoove black people, it would behoove all people, really, to question so-called the cut and dry one lone assassin theory. The Bureau and other intelligence agencies are very good at conspiracies. They're very good at setting people up to be killed. They are very good at making innuendos so the person will be killed.
City police don't know about because they have policemen in there. They don't let black people form anything without some policemen in there. And while I was in the Black Muslim movement, over the Black Muslim movement, many of the police who were sent to infiltrate us, they're black, would tell me, say, look, I'm a cop, but I have to come. They would tell me. I knew the Muslim movement was full of police. So don't you think anything is going down that they don't know about? The only thing that goes down is what they want to go down. And what they don't want to go down, they don't let it go down.
Oh man, it stopped. My fault. I'm doing like, I want to show y'all something else. I'm playing a couple videos. I want y'all to hear this other video real fast. 1 second. 1 second. Just brief with me, brothers and sisters. I hope y'all having a good day. I just got to handle one more piece of business, and it's on. Let me know before you leave, cuz. All right. Yeah, man. So I got my family over here. It's my 30-year class reunion this week. So my other cousin is here. But I gotta drop something down to y'all, man. Ah, here it go. Excuse me, y'all. Ah, here it go. So, so, hold on. I got a couple of them, but I want to find something specific. Then I want to jump in what I want to talk about. Let me see. Ah, here it go. Let me see. Yeah, here it go. Peace, little cuz. Peace, Cam. So, when I be talking about like religion and understanding who we are, history. What is American history? Because if you don't know who you are and you're afraid to talk about these things, and you say you know misnomer black history, something is wrong. So do anybody know about on October 20th, 1669, what happened with these slave laws? And that's why I'll be trying to tell people you can't identify as a Negro, black, color, or African American because it's synonymous to slaves. Think about what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, when we keep promulgating this black stuff. When we say black this, black that, black that. We don't know what we saying? Don't we know we saying slave? Do we really know that? Do we really know when we say black, that means slave? I don't care what nobody say. You know, hold on. So, listen to this, y'all. And then I'm going to break some codes down. But the Virginia Colonial Assembly enacted a law that removed criminal penalties for enslavers who killed enslaved people resisting authority. The Assembly justified the law on the grounds that the obscenity of many enslaved people cannot be suppressed by other than violent means. The law provided that an enslaver's killing of an enslaved person could not constitute murder because the premeditated malice element of murder could not be formed against one's own property. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? So Negro, black, and color, and African American is synonymous to slave. The Dred Scott Law was never abolished. It's been illegal to be a Negro, black, or color, or African American since what, like 1830 something. Somebody talk to me. Somebody open the panel up for discussion. These laws, Virginia continued to reduce legal protections for enslaved people. In 1723, the Assembly removed all penalties for the killing of enslaved people during correction, meaning that the enslaved person could be killed for an offense as minor as picking bad tobacco. The willful or malicious killing of an enslaved person could constitute murder in theory, but the law excused the killing of an enslaved person if the killing was in any way provoked. In effect, enslavers could kill enslaved people with impunity in colonial era Virginia, and the situation was similar in most other colonial territories. Following the American Revolution, many states created penalties for killing enslaved people, but the loophole permitting the killing of an enslaved person during correction. I mean, here I said person. What? Person, place, or thing, same thing. Or to prevent resistance, remain. As a result, throughout the course of slavery in this country's history, enslavers were rarely punished for killing enslaved people. You see? So a lot of these laws that was in Virginia, they was all in other states. When I talk about the Wilmington's white man's law or the Wilmington's white man constitution, when I broke that down, all the stuff I did in history in college, and I showed brothers and sisters, I said, man, we playing a dangerous game with this black stuff and think it's just so funny and key. And we continue to do it. When we identify and willingly as a slave, we identify it as a slave. According to science and law, black is civital mortis, meaning civilly dead in the eyes of the law. Research what I'm telling you. Black has no standing in law. So why would a group of people want to identify as something that's fictitious? Why? 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 Why would anybody want to be subjugated to anything like that? And a European call you a beast. They wrote biblical scripture to keep the Negro in subjugation. And then when I tell people about the history of the Bible, they get offended, like it's blasphemous, melanated people. But European people know this. That's why I laugh at a lot of people, man. I said, clearly, there's something wrong with us. Our mind, our psychosis of our mental is so destroyed till we just want to be preached by someone that has no historical, how can I say, concept of what they're speaking on. Everything is just to make you feel good. It's no historicalness. It's no biblical truth. It's no history. It's all slavery, subjugation, and it's black stuff. And we not black. Black is nothing of the fathers and the mothers of the nations. It's no black land. And nobody identified as black in the first century. No one. No one, family. So why we can't talk about this? This is what I be saying, man. Like, we be so mentally destroyed. It's no work that need to be done with anybody else when I tell people. Because the revolution is not done with bullets. It's done with the mental. It's done with money. It's done with understanding. It's done with wisdom. Man, I keep telling people, the church houses is not a place of learning. The church houses is a place of just to make you feel good. You can't go to the church house and learn nothing. But what? Tell me what you get at the church house. But something on Sunday. Tell me what you get at the church house. You're not getting no education. You're not getting no history. You're not getting no wisdom. You're not getting no business class. You're not getting no working out. You're not getting pop-up shops for the community when people can be safe and come deal with these things. It's nothing in there. The church is old. Everything about it is old. And I be telling young generation, I said, man, we all have to latch on with something that's a new era. This is a new era. If we drive to have fun, we should drive to support something that's real. It's a new era. This is what I be telling people, the new leaders, like, we don't diss our spiritualness. We got to gravitate to the real. It's almost like an elder putting the young people on. It's almost like if I'm a big-time record producer and you trying to get in the game, I'm an elder. I'm going to show you the ropes. It's the same thing. We got to support more than things that's meaningless. We have to. Because I love everybody, but I be telling young brothers and sisters, if you don't know nothing, you should want to sit at the hip to be educated on some things, to learn some things, and then to bring people together as a conglomerate and own some things. It's too many of us not to have nothing. I be telling my family this, man. We do not understand, and I love my family. We do not understand the dynamics and the power we have when I say your family have a religious head. Your family have something that can make a mark on the world. The family, and once the family support that, and you operate just like you anything else, That's it. But we've been conditioned to think of ourselves as less of. And that's why I be talking about these black Christian codes and all these things I'm gonna talk about. All these codes in history when our brothers and sisters still identify to some Negro or to some slave, but they don't want to hear it. Or they think they free because you working. You still gonna be identified as a Negro. You still gonna get the less of. Why? Because you're identifying as a Negro, black, or colored, or African American. Collectively. 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 When I ask people about the SF or 181 form pertaining to ethnicity, nobody know what I'm talking about. Everything I talk about I've done on academia. Brothers and sisters, man, my email should be blowing up. I should be traveling with all my brothers that got temples and schools and churches and be like, man, we need my brother to come teach and lecture at our church. That's why I'll be laughing at my people. I'm like, hey, you can be mad at me because I'm booked. That's what I tell brothers and sisters. I said, what I teach is nothing new. This is academia. I have a gift. Our brothers are just religiously blind. Most of our brothers and sisters will argue over some things that they have no idea. I know this for a fact. That's why when people say what religion is not for us, we have religion forever. Understanding, scholarship, spirituality is for us. Understanding our history is for us. Brotherhood is for us. But not no fake religion, something that you can't prove. And then when I give you the history of what you think you know, then the first thing you do is get mad. And that shows you what? That's an idiot. How? When a person wants the proof where something come from, and I say, I'm gonna show you. Now I'm showing you these things with an eye, and then what can we say? I show you truth and falsehood strangely mixed. It's nothing. It's nothing else to tell our brothers and sisters. Now it's time to rise in righteousness and understanding. It's time to support something real instead of just having fun. That's why I be telling my brothers and sisters, we too close to be so far apart. We too close to be so far apart. I'll be telling my brothers and sisters, I'll be like, man, I just don't get it. I just don't get it sometimes. I ask everybody, what do they go to church for? They can't even tell you. I ask every young person, what do they go to church for? When they say, well, come to my church, and then you come to a person's church, they pastor old, and they polyparroting, or they hacking, or they just can sing, because they not teaching you nothing. They're in there watching the crazy movie, my parents and my cousin. But I ask everybody, what are you learning at church? Do you have real Bible study? And no, you don't. Because most people don't even go to Bible study. You know? That's what I be telling brothers and sisters. I ask everybody, I'm like, what are you learning? Man, I just go with my wife. And then when I deal with the Moors, I ask them where they getting that science from. And then when I deal with my Al-Islam brothers, I'm like, so. And then I deal with the Hebrew Israelite brothers when I talk to them, because I know brothers in all different walks of life. And then I deal with other brothers that pro-African, this, that, and the other. And they all come, they be like, well, man, you 100% right. I'm like, I know. This is what I be asking brothers, like, what do y'all be learning when y'all be going to church and all this with no history? And then the only time you learn something at your church is when it's so-called black history. You know what I mean? These are conversations that I'll be wanting to have, like, because when I talk to the youth and younger than me and most people older than me, they have no idea what I'm talking about. They have no idea what I'm talking about, and all this stuff is old. Most people don't even know about the black Christian codes. Most people don't even know about the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, House Joint Resolution 75, the religious rights of the indigenous people. What the 1828 Webster Dictionary says what an American is, the copper-colored races. You know, like, All this basic U.S. world history, no one knows. Nobody know what the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment consist of. No one know what manumissions is. No one. No one. No one know what Reconstruction laws is. And I'll be sitting here asking these brothers, sisters, and this, and then they want to act like they want to do something political. Negroes have no rights. Negroes have no standing in law. Negroes are going to always get violated. Why? Because Negroes have no rights. I keep telling people, until we organize the right way, until we proclaim, declare, have due process, which is our nationality and our spirituality, which is the 2/5 that was taken from us from so-called slavery, then that's your religious right. But the preacher ain't gonna tell you that because he don't know. And if he do know, he took an oath. He took an oath to keep you subjugated. You can play the game all you want to. And that's why most Negroes don't know this. That's why. Because all these people that's playing the game and running for these political offices and they say, well, what should we call ourselves? Black this, African American, and Black Lives Matter. And I tell you, and I tell every one of them goofy Negroes that support that black stuff, hogwash. And clearly you don't know nothing. You can be mad all you want to. But I bet you ain't no Negro, Black, or color, African American ever gonna get no reparations. I bet you that. And I bet you that's a fact. And I tell y'all, I don't give a damn if you get Ben Crump. I'm telling you 100% facts. Never. Blacks have no standing in law. So when blacks be running for this and running for that and say the first black this, the first black that, they be loving to put the title black on you. But if you know anything, that should be like anti-Semitic. Why? Because nothing black about you. If you understand that. But you don't. But you don't. But you don't. You don't. The Council of Courts says this: if a Moor kill a U.S. citizen, or vice versa, if a U.S. citizen kill a Moor, that Moor want to be judged in the same parameters as that U.S. citizen. What? To be able to defend yourself in a court, and to be proven what? To be proven, to have your rights to defend yourself in a court of law. See, that's the facts. But the Negroes, you have no rights. Negro have no rights standing in law. Fact check me. Fact check me. This is what I be telling people. And then we be letting these people woe us to sleep. And our own people be standing behind these Black Lives Matter rallies. And I be like, are y'all crazy? And people be putting millions and billions of dollars behind a cause that is never going to do nothing for black people. All you got to do is tell me what Black Lives Matter did. I ain't seen no laws change. Because if you talk about freedom, that's in the courts. And I just told you, according to science and law, black mean deaf. Now what? Now, according to science and law and ethnicity, in the courts, black means deaf. Civil mortis. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. So if you say you so smart, oh, we smart, we black people, we know law. I'm telling your ass dead in the eyes of the law, pertaining to who you are, to your ethnicity. I'm telling you, you have no rights in the courts, in the eyes of the law, of nowhere, when you say Black Lives Matter and you black. You have no stand in that law. Zero. Zilch. So when people be behind these political things and y'all be saying we the first black in this black community, you off the mouth, you hang man to yourself. You become a willing obligor. You are self-identifying as a slave. Why? Because black is synonymous to slaves pertaining to ethnicity. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, anybody. Anybody black this, black that, and we identify with this black stuff. Y'all don't know this? And y'all don't even know this. And my brothers and sisters don't even know this and still be identifying as black. Or we go to a black church. Oh, yeah, well, I want to send my kid to black this, everything black, everything is just dead. So I ask brothers and sisters that say they black, and I ask you, tell me how you black. And nobody can say nothing. Tell me how you black, and tell me why your ethnicity is black. Tell me why. You can't even explain it. No one can get on here and get with their right mind and explain why they black. Unless you just make some of the most outlandish stuff up. And then you'll really be looking more crazier. Because it take time to write some shit. So can anybody explain that? Can anybody explain it? Why do misnumbered black people still identify as black? Why do misnumbered black people still identify as black? Can we explain that? I mean, is it rational? Is it rational, brothers and sisters? Is it rational today, in so-called 2025, for us to be so smart and talk about reparations, and I say Negro, Black, and Color, and African Americans that never get no reparations, and I say, why do we still identify as black? Why? I always ask everybody that. I always ask brothers and sisters that when I sit down with them, they were like, man, Sheik, I have no idea. And I'll be like, see? So we just do things with no idea, or just with, we just do things osmosisly and be like, well, I don't know. And that's not good, family. And then still we letting our people, our leaders, woe us to sleep. That's why we ain't gonna never really have nothing, because we identify into slaves. Slaves only get civil rights. You don't get human rights. You don't get life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You don't get life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Slaves don't get that. Slaves only get what they master give them. You see what I'm saying? I mean, so I'll be asking brothers and sisters, are we gonna still fall for this stuff, man? Listen to these codes. 1666, Negro women, children to serve according to the condition of the mother. 1667, listen to this. General Assembly passed an act declaring, listen to this, declaring the baptism of slaves do not exempt them from bondage. When you hear all these people say, these misnomer black preachers, and when we got baptized, we were free. No, you wasn't. You lying. Because I'll show you in Protestant history and all through religious history, just because you got baptized, all you was a baptized slave. That's it. This real history. They passed an act declaring the baptism of slaves do not exempt them from bondage. From what? From slavery. In 1669, they passed in Virginia, they passed an act regarding the casual killing of enslaved people. If any slave resists his master or other by his master's order correcting him, and by the extremity of the correction should chance to die, that his death shall not be accompanied a felony. So you ain't gonna get in trouble for it. In 1670, Assembly determined that no Negro nor Indian to buy Christian servants. I mean, it's so much. If any Negro, mulatto, Indian slave, or servant for life, because the Negro was a slave for life, runaway and shall be pursued by the warrant or you, and cry, it shall and may be lawful for any person who shall endeavor to take them upon the resistance of such Negro, mulatto, Indian slave, or servant for life, to kill or wound him, or then so resisting. And if it happens that such Negro, mulatto, Indian slave, or servant for life do die of any wound in such the resistance received, the master or owner of such shall receive satisfaction for the public, from the public. I mean, there's so many of these codes. It's just so much, man. And these are some of the black so-called Christian codes, per se. And you got to remember, the Dred Scott Law was never abolished. The Dred Scott Law was never abolished. I got Abraham Lincoln diaries. Abraham Lincoln didn't want to end no slavery. Like, and we still identify, and we still let our politicians and all these educated people talk about that we black, and black this, and we some slaves. Cause black is slave stuff, y'all. But everybody's so smart. Everybody got an education. And black is an adjective. This is a black phone case. This is a black phone case. And don't say more mean black. That's stupid. If that's the case, you would just say black or black. I mean, so much stuff is stupid. Black is the adjective of the Moor when you say blackamoor in the 1599 Geneva Bible. They were just explaining the you of that Moor in the continent of Africa. They were called a blackamoor. So in the 1599 Geneva Bible, because in the beginning everything was dark, so in that dark continent they were what? Blackamoors. You had Tawny Moors, Egyptian Moors, Swarthy Moors. So I don't know what people the hell they be talking about. These is facts. These is facts, man. And so when we identify us as black, we're not black. Like I got on a shirt. And what color of the shirt? Burgundy or maroon, you a person to say, but you don't say I got on a maroon. You say I got on a maroon shirt. The maroon is just the color of the shirt. It's still a shirt. It's still a shirt. This like, and I tell my brothers and sisters, I said, why won't our preachers and teachers explain this when they say, well, should we call ourselves we Moors? Why people don't like a Moor? What's wrong with that? I can show you all through history that you're a Moor, all through history. So what's wrong with that? Like what's wrong? Because you following people on the internet that's talking out the side of their neck. That's your fault. That's your fault. You can ask anybody before the Civil War what Negro, Black, and colored African Americans was. Ask your mayor in a good voice. We were called Moors. Well, that's what the white man called us. Man, I ain't with all that, man. I ain't with all that stupid stuff. I'm telling you what it is, man. The Moorish Zion Temple is valid. It's been valid. People can be letting the wrong people teach us. It's like we always try to ruin our own people. It's like we got to stop that, man. It's people that did a good solid. They're in there watching the. Sir, cousin, hold on. You out? Hold on. About to be out? Yeah, man, we gonna get together. You got a picture on up? Yep. No, she got on the rental.
Y'all be safe now.
Okay, I will come back over Friday tomorrow.
Okay.
You know they can't refill them.
She's trying to get her out. Hit that dude's window. Hit his window. Oh, it's a staggering thing to do. Larry! She just, the thing hit her, she grabbed her arm and arm. That's all she got with her arm. It's my fault.
Yeah. So, I had to do that real fast. So that's all I ask my people. I want people to respond, and see what other people have to say about these topics, because that's the only way we're going to get to a median. If not, we're going to be going in circles and circles and circles, and people are going to be talking out the side of their neck based off just how they feel. A lot of people just be talking based off how they feel, and with no facts and with no scholarship. So, once again, why do most misnomer black people identify as Negro, colored, black, or African American? Why? And then they stand on it so hard. Like, what's up with that? Hold on. All right. So, don't nobody want to? If nobody got nothing to add, I'm gonna close it out, man. I'm out of here, man. I'll see y'all probably Monday. But nobody didn't want to respond to the question, so it don't work.
I know where one is.
And so that's what this is for. So when people be doing campaigns and things like that, and I ask people, okay, so what made you or what persuades you to campaign for this individual? Like what laws and what things that you like, what policy that you like that'll sway you to vote for this individual. And we don't have to talk about Republican or Democrat, no matter which one it is. But when we talk about policy and law and things that make sense to you, when we have these conversations, I think a lot of young people really don't know, because these conversations don't be had continuously. It only happens, boom, when politics time. Because if this was going on continuously, if these conversations are had, then you'll be able to see where your own people can fit in. And you don't have to be, reaching from the outside. You can reach from the inside. Thanks, Dad. You see? You can reach from the inside. Think about these things. I'm like, it's only one way, family. It's only one way. So if we don't have these conversations and we jump behind people just for photo ops and things, and we can't have these conversations on law and policy and who we are, so what are we voting for? Because when you think about it, you say, well, black people want reparations. I say, okay, well, let's have the reparation conversation. Let's have it from scholarship. Let's see who's telling you the truth and be able to stand on what they're saying. Nobody's having that conversation with you. Why? Why no one's having that conversation with you? Why no one that's running for public office, governor, mayor, whatever house that our people be standing behind? Why don't we talk about, well, if nationality is the order of the day, and if reparations this, that, and the other, well, can black people get reparations? If anybody say black people can get reparations, they lying. But then people say Black Lives Matter, and then misnomer black people talk about reparations. And I say, well, black people is not going to get reparations identifying as Negroes, because reparations is not for slaves. Nobody can prove that wrong. You know? Nobody can prove that wrong, man. I don't know why it went dark on me. Screen went dark, but maybe it's time to end. But no one can explain that. And that's what we do. And I say we get used and abused. Our power, our political power that a lot of people just give away. Why? Because we love that DEI stuff. I'm telling you, man, I done had so many conversations with young people that be behind people because they good people. But when it comes down to these people doing things for them, when that political race over, I bet you they disappear like Fuji dust. I bet you the whole thing over. I bet you everything that they say they want to do and all this, I bet you the mission is all over because it ain't their life. They just running for political office. I know how this go. It's a job for certain individuals. That's why I be telling my people, I'm like, man, we being used. We supporting all these people, all our time with these churches, all this, and what do we own? And your own cousin, uncle, somebody, well, your own cousin that you know that have the same power in these other people, but have a library, have a school, educated and anointed, and we watch them build themselves up. And we watch them, and we watch us build, and our family will watch our own family member build himself up. Because it's no disrespect, because I know everybody love me. I know this. I know everybody love me. But we will watch. We will watch instead of supporting. We will watch. That's how we condition. And when I say who, I mean, it's just what it is. That's how we condition. We'll watch on the sideline instead of supporting. Why? Because that's how we condition. It's no disrespect to no one. It's no love lost to no one. It's not. That's just the reality of things. Okay, I got you. I got you, bro. That's just the reality of it, and I understand it. But with that being said, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all have a good day. But it's always a good time to know who you are and be illuminated with wisdom and share the wisdom with your family and your friends and your loved ones and with babies, for they can have something to hold on to. Read to the babies, man. Read wisdom to them. Don't just give the babies a tablet and let them be on there watching all the crazy stuff. Read some wisdom to them. You read some wisdom. Get some real literature. Come to class. Change your life. Come work out with us. We have a whole platform. And see what we're going to do. Because we're doing some amazing things. We're doing some amazing things. And we're going to continue to do some amazing things. With Allah's will and with the help of our brothers and sisters. And with the people that know my voice. But I give honor to you. I give honor to your family. And I give honor to everybody time. But like I said, if no one have nothing, no questions, I gotta leave. Because I open the floor for any questions anybody have. This is be the time when I can jump on my personal page for questions or anything. When I'm on my Temple and School page, which is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School page, on Saturday and Sunday we teach it. So I use my personal platform just to throw things out there, give a little summary of some things. And if anything spark anybody, the history or the science or the spirituality that I'm giving, we can have dialogue. But if brothers and sisters don't have dialogue when I be giving these dissertations, that's the difference from regular people in academia. They be having a million questions after I'm done. A million. And that's the difference I see with my people. But once again, I love y'all, man. And y'all take care. Peace, light, and love.